Welcome back to another episode on the J.A.T side. I'm your host, Jalen Austin Taylor, and today is May 9th, 2024. And before we get straight into today's episode, I do have a couple of quick announcements. So number one, Throwback Thursday on social media is going to be coming back next week. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I forgot to get the episode and stuff ready to be reposted on like YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. We're winding down to the end of the school year. I'm not gonna lie, I just forgot to get the clips ready for Throwback Thursday this week. So next week, I promise you guys, I will have a new Throwback Thursday clip out for you. And then my last announcement of the day is going to be that I know I promised to get an episode out with two special guests last month, and we were making that episode, and I'm gonna explain to you guys what happened real quick. Basically, when I was recording the episode with these two guests, um, I went back to edit the episode because I was trying to just like sharp it, make it a little bit better. And basically, when I was going back to edit the episode, the audio was overlapping. I'm not sure if it was like internet or what the issue was, but basically when I was talking, they were talking and vice versa. So I couldn't release the episode and not give you guys the high quality and the great quality that you guys know and expect and deserve from me. So we had to reschedule, and I'm gonna try to get it by the end of this month, but I don't have a tentative date on that yet. But do know that we're trying to do it before the end of the month. But that's all the announcements I have for you guys today. And now, as you can tell by the title, we're gonna get straight into this episode on teacher appreciation. So, guys, as you can tell by the title, like I just mentioned, today's episode is going to be celebrating all teachers. And I don't really have a script for this episode. I don't have anything written out. I don't have anything planned out, but teachers play a vital role in our lives, especially as people who are still in school. For those of you who are listening to this, who are still in middle school or high school, maybe even elementary school, I don't know. But teachers play such an important role in our lives because they can give us confidence, they can make us smarter, they can help us develop in many ways, and they can, you know, help us with issues that, sometimes maybe even our parents can't help us with, because you guys know that, like, I know this has happened to you at least once, right? You go to your parents and ask them to help you with something, and then they tell you, "Oh, I forgot how to do this," or go, Google it because they don't know how to do it. And that's where a teacher comes in when your parent doesn't understand something, or when, there's no answer right then and there. Then you go to your teacher, they help you, or you go to another teacher. Like for me, I'll give a shout out to Mr. Mobley. Shout out to Mr. Mobley, my freshman math teacher. He taught me geometry. It was his first year at Brookwood, I want to say, and I still have a great relationship with him to this day. I see him every day, and he, even though he's not teaching me now, he's still a mentor for me. He's still a person that I talk to, that I feel comfortable with, that I get advice from. And he coaches baseball. For those of you who don't know, at Brookwood, he's the freshman, or at least one of the freshman baseball coaches. I'm not sure how many freshman coaches there are, but Mr. Mobley, not Doctor, Mr. Mobley, he's one of the people who has in high school made the biggest impact on me. Who is a teacher, and I appreciate him. So, Mr. Mobley, if you're listening to this, I appreciate you for being a mentor to me and being more than a teacher, and being somebody who I can relate to, and being somebody who like I said, feel comfortable with. Talking to, not just about school and not just about math, but other things as well. And if you don't have at least one person in the school or in your school who you feel comfortable with, I advise looking for somebody, because I feel like when you go to school and you have that person who you feel comfortable with, that's an adult, um, they can help you, and then, they can help you with things that are not just related to school as well, but related to other things. Um, but also another thing about teachers, you know, I feel like they're underpaid, and some of the things that teachers do for us, they go over and beyond for sometimes, most times, I feel like over what they're paid for, and they don't have to do that. They don't have to put the same passion, the same energy that they do put into it, but they do because they care about us students and really our development. And I feel like at Brookwood, at least in the Brookwood cluster, we're blessed to have some really awesome teachers and some really great educators who have the passion to teach, and they're not gonna short any student, you know, for anything. They're gonna give every student an equal opportunity at getting a great education. And obviously that starts at the top. People like Principal Savage. Um, Shout out to Dr. Savage for the work that he does behind the scenes, stuff that we don't see. Literally my top listened episode on the J.A.T side as of right now. Um, the most listened episode in J.A.T side history, in the J.A.T side history, is the interview with Dr. Savage. So he's one of the most beloved individuals in this community, and he's the head of a great uh, cluster and a great school system that is Brookwood. We have our issues just like everybody else, but in terms of the education that you receive at Brookwood and the opportunities that we have, not just learning and education wise, but also like the clubs and the other opportunities, the extracurriculars. I mean, some of the stuff that is at Brookwood I had never heard of before I moved to the Brookwood community area. And I've been blessed and fortunate to be able to move into this community, to be able to make the connections that I have been able to make. And real quick, to all of my teachers this year, Coach Shelnut, Miss Foot, Mr. Harvey, Garcia, Mr. Jimenez, and Mr. Jackson, and also my guided study teacher, Ms. Barahona. Thank you for everything that you've done for me this school year. In any way that you've ever helped me, anything that every question that you've ever answered and helped me with, I just sincerely want to say thank you once again for that, because it does not go unappreciated. It does not go unseen. And teachers, I feel like they have superpowers because, and I'm not trying to be corny or anything, but teachers are so important. And without teachers, our society would be a lot less um, of what it is today. Um, so once again, not just to my teachers, but every teacher. And I just pray that this podcast will touch um, teachers all across the country. And I don't know how. I just hope that it somehow finds its way to teachers all across the country, so that this can be an uplifting message and an inspiring message to all teachers, no matter what level, um, and any teacher who may be in need of an encouragement as we head to the end of this school year. And you know, like I said, I'm just honestly so blessed to be able to have the teachers that I do have. And if you're listening to this still right now, you've made it to this point in the episode. If you haven't already, if you know a teacher in your life, if you know somebody who is a teacher, I highly encourage you to share this video with them, and then tell them, hey, if you know any other teacher in your life, I ask that you share this video or share this podcast with them, whether this is on social media, or whether this is through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, however you're listening to my message right now, I just ask that you would share this with an educator that is in your life or an educator that you know, and or even one of your educators, even one of your teachers. Find a way to share this podcast with them. And once again, we love you, teachers. We love every teacher. Um, and I think some people, they're afraid to say that they appreciate their teachers because they don't think that it's cool, or they don't think that it's the popular thing to do. Oh, they get paid to do it, so they're just they're obligated to do it. But really, teachers do so much stuff for us that we don't see. Um, and I'm gonna be the person, if nobody else does, I'm gonna be the high schooler who goes out of his way to make sure that his teachers know that they're appreciated. And yeah, so that's gonna be the end of today's episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Like I said, I didn't have a script or anything for this episode, but I was really just speaking from the heart, and I hope that, like I said, uh this podcast can reach uh teachers all over the country and maybe even teachers all over the world. But until next time, I'm your host, Jalen Austin Taylor. And before I'm out, I want to say I do have another episode for you guys coming. I don't know what day yet, but be on the lookout for at least one more episode this week. But until then, I'm your host, Jalen Austin Taylor, and I am out.